Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And it would appear that Stephanie McMahon is going to make the announcement tonight on Raw that Ronda Rousey, Stone Cold Cringy Lynch, and Charlotte are going to be the real main event at WrestleMania. There's a bunch of decoy main events all the time, but I kind of posed the question in like my Raw and SmackDown reviews. Are they going to, really make that the main event? Because I thought back, I'm like, you know how there's numerous main events at WrestleMania? Well, because there's only one match that could go on last because there's multiple titles due to the brand split and all that jazz. But, it would appear that now, if they're going to go through the trouble of having Stephanie McMahon come out there and make the announcement and all that, that it truly seems like that is the match that's going to go on last. Man, oh man, is that going to be a bomb. Can you imagine, like, you're 5.5 hours into the fucking main show. Not only that, but like the people who show up early for the pre-show, there's going to be some people that have been there for 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours. Sitting there, waiting for this show, for the main event to come on, and it's going to come on. And they're just going to be totally exhausted. They're going to be mentally spent. It doesn't matter if every single match is a Meltzer Magoo 5-star classic. It doesn't matter if, it has some of the best WrestleMania matches of all time, which it won't. People are going to be a little bit tuckered out, to say the least. Even making WrestleMania 4 hours was a big gamble back in the day. And, I looked back, WrestleMania 4, because they had the tournament, was a 4-hour show. But then immediately after that, they went right back and made WrestleMania not even 3 hours most of the time. So, that was only because they had a lot of people in the tournament. It was a one-night tournament, and that's what they decided to do. So, that's understandable, but the fact that we've gotten to the point where WrestleMania has a pre-show and it's 8 hours is just totally outrageous. So what I wanted to do right here is go over the WrestleMania card, and let's see exactly, is this show really good? Because we've talked about certain matches. I did my rant, let's talk about WrestleMania 35, but let's actually get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's actually talk about the card. Let's actually analyze the matches and see, what this this card really has to offer. Maybe it's not that bad, because I really haven't really sat back and looked at all the matches, from top to bottom. Like, I don't even know what's on this fucking show. I know what the main event is. I know what the world title matches are going to be, and so let's take a look and see what we've got here. So we'll start from the bottom of the list and we'll work our way up. That way we could get like a pretty good idea of what's going on this show. So what I want to do right here is actually flip to this right here. I want to make sure that everyone is able to see this. So let me, let's get to here, because I want you guys to be able to see what I'm looking at here. So on WWE.com, this is all the matches that we have scheduled for WrestleMania 35. So we're going to work our way up. So the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Now, they're not saying which shows are going to be on the pre-show, because we damn well know that all these matches ain't going to be able to fit on there. So we've got WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Who's gonna win this? Who do I think is gonna win this? I don't know. I'm gonna have to take a guess here. Asuka maybe. I don't really know. I could care less. Last year, Naomi won the Battle Royal. A lot of good that did for her. Alexa Bliss to host WrestleMania. Yeah, we know that it's not actually a match. I guess this is just a featured list, But whatever, you know, this is going to be very forgettable. I like Alexa Bliss. For years on this channel, I've sung her praises for like a good 2 years. But it's like, you know, I don't know. We haven't got any updates. Is she injured? Is she not? I don't know. They're not being honest about it. Obviously, she's had a lot of concussions. Her career is at risk. I'm just going to say it. There's like no confirmation, but I mean, it's kind of obvious. She came back for a match. They pulled her back, and, you know, we haven't seen her in active capacity for quite some time. So they're relegating her to this role of, you know, hosting WrestleMania, which is a very lame role. It was like when New Day hosted WrestleMania. You know, it was one thing when The Rock hosted WrestleMania. That, you know, that's a host right there. But, you know, New Day, and I don't like New Day, but I like Alexa Bliss, you know, as a character, as a personality, but, you know, this is just not what I really had in mind. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Now, this is like a real, like, wild card here. Who's gonna win this thing? The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think it's probably gonna be Braun Strowman if I had to guess, because the whole story, God, I really shudder to think that the whole story around the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is the SNL guys. You know, whatever these goofballs' names are, the ones who do the Weekend Update, who are totally disgracing, you know, that show's legacy. It's not just their fault, it's many others. Even Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey are in part responsible for that. But this is not an SNL rant. That is something for another time. But the story is between Braun Strowman and those guys, and so we're probably going to see Braun Strowman be the winner here. The Intercontinental Championship match is between Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor, and since Finn Balor has already beaten Lio Rush and Bobby Lashley in a handicap match, he's beaten Jinder Mahal and Bobby Lashley in another handicap match. This guy's the master of the handicap matches. So he's able to do that, and then when he's one-on-one with Lashley, Finn Balor manages to somehow lose that one. So I don't understand. Like, Finn Balor could beat two guys at once, but he can't beat one guy, you know, at once. I don't get that mentality. I don't get the psychology in that match. I really don't. But, you know, we're going to get this match. It's recycled. We saw this match 1,000 times. What was it, at Elimination Chamber? When they had this, like, we're really going to see this for the umpteenth time. But, you know, we're throwing the matches out there. That's the thing about this card. It's like a lot of matches that we've seen already, or in some capacity, or they just don't feel fresh anymore because they've just kept going, you know, again and again and again and again and again with these matches, you know, to the point where we're just so sick and tired of seeing these grudges, these stories, quote unquote. The WWE Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. I mean, I've already hyped this match. Probably better than Don West did back in TNA. I mean, this is the fight of the century. This should be the fucking main event of the goddamn show. I mean, you know, Buddy Murphy. Buddy Murphy versus Tony Nese. Holy cow! Holy Moses! I mean, that's a match for the ages right there. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin. Kurt Angle's farewell match. Just kind of sad. And the simple fact of the matter is this: the difference between me, you know, talking bad about this match, is that I'm actually a Baron Corbin fan. I like Baron Corbin. But this match, to make this Kurt Angle's last match, I don't know, there's been a lot of speculation. Is Kurt Angle going to come out at the last minute, beat up Baron Corbin? They're going to have... First, that would be fucking stupid if they do that. Oh, I'm here because I want to face you so bad. No, they should have told that story ahead of time. I get it. you know, Baron Corbin and made Kurt Angle's life a living hell. Even though the match it doesn't really even make any sense because Kurt Angle was on vacation. Baron Corbin was supposed to be a stand-in. And somehow, someway, when Kurt Angle finally returned, he didn't get his job back. It wasn't explained. You know, I don't understand something. I understand it if something happened years ago and they don't want to mention it because they want the fans to forget because it's more convenient for them. Fine. They've done that before. But we're talking about mere months ago, and you want us to already forget. I'm sorry, but that right there is a big pile of bullshit. And the fact that, yeah, all of a sudden, oh, well, we want to choose this match for storyline purposes. All of a sudden, they care about stories. Out of the clear blue sky. All of a sudden, we want to talk about stories. We love stories. Give me a fucking break. This has got to be the worst retirement match I've ever seen. And like I said, I like Baron Corbin. He's improved greatly on the mic. He's got a great look to him. But the fact of the matter is this. This is sad. Kurt Angle should have a much better opponent for his fight. It should have been Brock Lesnar. Not Seth freaking Rollins. United States Champion Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio. This just seems thrown together. Rey Mysterio has returned to the WWE. He's been there for months, like a half of a year or something like that. And like, I just like, it barely even feels like he's there. AJ Styles versus Randy Orton. I mean, okay, like, you know, they started off kind of doing a work shoot type of thing. But, you know, it's like, why are they even wrestling? Because, you know, AJ Styles is the indie guy and Orton doesn't like indie guys. But they half-assed told the story. It could have been fun. It could have been a way of triggering the smarks. But, you know, then again, that is the whole entire audience. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus the Iconics versus Nia Jackson, Tamina in a fatal 4-way match. And I just hate that fucking match just for how long it took me to say it. I mean, I said this. Like, I get it. Everyone wants to have a payday. Let's get everybody on the card as you know, as any way possible. I get it. I'm not opposed to that. But this is just ridiculous. You're going to drag Beth Phoenix's ass out of retirement. I get it. She'll probably get a nice payday out of it. To wrestle in a match where she's going to basically be in the background the whole time. Because there's going to be like 7 other people in this match. And it's not like a Money in the Bank match. No, it's just a women's tag team championship match. Which even the people who love women's wrestling and push for women's wrestling and have been all roped in to this, you know, magical world of women's wrestling, you know, even they say that the women's tag belts are just completely pointless. And it's like, first of all, like, you know, okay, they manage to get some decent teams here. The Iconics have been together for a while. Nia Jackson, Tamina, I mean, that's a good team. They bury them a lot. You know, they're not as dominant as they should be. Beth Phoenix and Natalya, that's an old tag team from back in 2011. So, you know, they did an alright job kind of assembling some teams here. But this is going to be a pretty blah match, I think. You know, just a fucking fatal 4-way. It's going to be very sloppy. I mean, the Iconics are in there, for God's sakes. Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. I don't know what it is about this. You know, I as you guys know, I love both guys. But this is just kind of a thrown together match. Reigns came back from, you know, from the leukemia. You know, and they didn't really have anything for him. So Drew was... First of all, Drew shouldn't have even been available for this match. They should have already had something picked out for Drew. But it shows, like, just like with everybody else on the card, that they don't know. You know, they didn't have anything else planned out. And, oh, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed right over here... talk about spoilers. Finn Balor is dressed as the Demon, so I guess you could expect him to be in the Bobby Lashley match as the Demon. I just noticed that right now. This little advertisement on the side. But yeah, they should have had Drew McIntyre picked out for that match. I mean, picked out, you know, for a match ahead of time, because they didn't know that Reigns was coming back, despite what some people say. Up next is, this is what I was saying, you know, look at all these main events. Anyway, we'll get to it in a little bit. Shane McMahon versus The Miz, Falls Count Anywhere match. I got a feeling this is probably going to be a pretty good match. This probably going to be a pretty solid, you know, exciting, hardcore style match here. You know, two good workers here. You know, the people are probably going to tell you, the people on the dirt sheets, the Alvarez and stuff, this match is going to be shit. And I don't think anyone's complained more about the storyline than me, because it was just so cringeworthy. But, you know, it's very well, very well might actually steal the show when you consider everything else. Triple H versus Batista, no holds barred match. I mean, you know, look, when we're talking about from historical perspective, Triple H has had some amazing matches, some amazing moments. Batista as well. I love Batista. I mean, okay, if we're gonna judge by on the card as far as like who looks like they belong besides Miz, Shane, Roman, and Drew McIntyre, I think you're going to have to say that Triple H and Batista are like the only like legitimate stars on this card as far as who's facing one another. But you know, after the give me what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really want. I mean, I'm just completely done with this match, with this storyline. Did Batista really come back for this garbage? Because I guarantee you, he's just back for a WrestleMania payday. They probably got an offer. He's probably like, okay, I'll have a one-off match. And do you guys like see a problem here? Like, okay, the way how this is situated here, this is by no means how the card is going to go. But this kind of weirdly enough seems like the order they would probably put it in. But, like a Falls Count Anywhere match. We just saw a Falls Count Anywhere match on Raw. And then we saw a Last Man Standing match on Raw. Now, we're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere match at WrestleMania, and then also on the card is going to be a no-holds-barred match. Okay, now the difference, if we could get a little bit nerdy with this shit, is that the Falls Count Anywhere match is that you can pin your opponent outside, but it's basically no-holds-barred. You're allowed to use weapons and all that shit, and, you know, you could go all around the arena. The no-holds-barred match, you can't go... you can't pin anybody outside, at least, you know, unless they want to change their rules here. They probably won't. But I'm saying, like, guys, there's going to be, like, steel chairs in both matches. They're going to probably, you know, be fighting outside a lot. You know, there's probably going to be a table spot. If Shane McMahon doesn't hit the elbow spot in this match, then I don't know. Like, I will... I'll wear a big hat and dance around naked. I'll wear a 20-gallon hat and dance around naked on a live stream or some shit like that for everybody. Because he's either going to hit the elbow or he's going to do the coast to coast. Confirmed, it's not really that original to make such a prediction. But they're going to have like basically the same match back to back. And I just think that that's just... stupid. It is. It's like the same match. Different people, but it's the same concept. I mean, like, you know... And if you notice, I haven't been making predictions here because I really don't care. I'm just kind of giving my analysis on these because it's like... I don't know. Anyway, Triple H and Batista, I've got a feeling it's not going to be anything that great at all. Universal Champion Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. Here's where I will make a prediction. that Seth Rollins is going to go over. He's going to be the champion here. And that's just going to be a joke. Like, the fact that, like, Roman Reigns couldn't beat him, like, 3 times, and Seth freaking Rollins is going to come along, and he's going to just beat Brock Lesnar. This, you know, this small guy, he's going to slay the beast. I mean, like, that's just so totally unbelievable. I get it, you know, we want to have an underdog story, but I am sorry, Seth Rollins, you're not Shawn Michaels, you know, you're not Chris Jericho, you're not one of these, like, wrestlers that everyone can get behind and has, you know, is oozing with charisma, and that, like, people are willing to suspend their disbelief. No, this is, like, just cringe shit here. That's basically what it is. WWE Champion, the new Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston. I just can't believe that this is a WWE Championship at Mania. Now, you guys know that I believe that Daniel Bryan belongs. People disagree. You know, everyone was behind him around WrestleMania 30, but, you know, they've abandoned him. Kofi Kingston, though, I mean, just everyone jumped behind this guy at the last minute. And you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen here, guys. Do I even need to say it? Do I even need to tell you guys what the result is going to be here? It's going to be Kofi Kingston being the first ever, you know, fully black. I mean, because The Rock was WWE champion, but people, you know, like to get into it. He wasn't black enough. Kofi Kingston will be the first all-black WWE champion, and it's going to be a, you know, a story for the ages. You know, they're going to sing the praises. Oh, McMahon's finally not racist because, you know, he gave a fully black man the championship, and no one is going to care. Yeah, they'll probably report on it on ESPN and everything like that. And still no one will care. It won't draw in any new viewers. But, you know, they'll compromise the great Daniel Bryan character. And they've been compromising it for weeks. You know, he was having great segments. They were the highlight of SmackDown. But they have completely gimped Daniel Bryan's gimmick in favor of Kofi Kingston. And having, you know, 2 hour-long gauntlet matches back-to-back. Very sad. Anyway, let's get to the main event. And if it wasn't confirmed before, it's confirmed now. It's right here at the top of the list. And the announcement that's going to take place tonight. The Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match. So Ronda Rousey is going to be taking a break after WrestleMania. So we obviously know she's not going to win here. I would look for cringy Lynch to take both titles, and then the next night on Raw, they're probably going to unify them. Thank God for the unification of these 2 fucking belts here. Like, honestly, why do we have these 2 belts? It's like, we should, first of all, I'm even questioning if we should even have 1. But 2 belts that are the same, and they've been going from show to show anyway, is just ridiculous. So anyway, you know, it's all about this girl right here. You know, the talk of the town, Stone Cold Cringy Lynch. I mean, what a great job she did imitating Stone Cold on YouTube, right? You know, I mean, okay, listen, guys, like, first of all, you see all this shit. Do you notice they're going to have all these matches? All these matches, and there's not even, well, you know, look what's not on the line here. They're not even going to be defending the tag titles. The tag titles. Like, they're not even going to have the tag belts on the line. They have so much useless shit on this card. I mean, like, they have 2 sets of tag belts. they're not even going to be defended. Whatever. I mean, there's been manias like that before. I think they've put that on the pre-show or whatever, or they've had like one set of tag belts defended. But you know, like, they're gonna have the women's tag belts, not the belts that the Legion of Doom, you know, defended, or that Demolition held, or the Dudleys, or the Hardys. And by the way, guys, did you hear what I just said there? The Hardy Boys are not on the card! Not on the card. The Hardy Boys, they're not there. And I mean, like, they came to the WWE 2 years ago at WrestleMania 33, was it? Yes, 2017. They come out to a massive response. The Hardys are like on fire. They're, you know, they're ready to go. It's going to be major excitement. Jeff Hardy, I think, missed WrestleMania 34 last year. I think he was suspended or something like that. Matt won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. But, like, they're there, and they were going to have the Usos versus the Hardys, which probably would have been a pretty good match. That would have been something really cool to see, especially if it was like a ladder match or something. That would have been a pretty cool match to see. Two really good teams, you know, like probably their best current tag team versus, you know, probably one of the greatest tag teams of all time. That would have been an excellent match. But instead, you know, we're going to defend the women's tag belts. But okay, we already talked about that. So, look at this right here. This main event right here. I'm going to say that Cringy Lynch is going to take both of these belts right here. And, you know, that will be it. I mean, guys, I got a feeling that probably that night or the next day, we're probably going to hear about record numbers of people leaving the stadium. Just not because, I'm not going to like try to paint that picture here because Cringy Lynch is in the main event and that the women in general are in the main event at WrestleMania. But I think it's like, even if Stone Cold Steve Austin returned to face The Rock one last time in the main event, I still think people would walk out. Probably even before that match went on. Because people just don't want to see it. And like, I got a feeling that, like, after Seth Rollins goes over, or after Batista and Triple H, you know, is just over, like, people are just gonna fucking, like, leave and say, this show's too long. And it's just like, I don't know, it's very surreal that this is going to be the main event, and it's like, you know that no one wants to see it. You know that even deep down, the people who white knight for this garbage are even like, well, I don't know if we should really make it the main event, you know, guys, like, oh, man, I mean, wow, this is just, like, such dark times for the WWE, dark times that they've perpetrated on themselves. Why hasn't there been a wrestling boom period in about 20 years? Well, here you fucking go. If you need any reason, you know, just look at this right here, and that will tell you why. Anyway, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the WrestleMania analysis. And I'll see you for the Raw review. Guys, this has been your YWC champ, and I'm signing out.